Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Gathering Old Men podcast. What
Mhm.
you got to say? What you got to say, Marlo?
No, it looked like them was footage of when we was at that school in Daytona.
That was a highlight from the school in Daytona when we was there. Yes,
Better yet, a low light. Did you pan out, let people see their facilities? Why you ain't show them clips?
we literally just started.
Why you ain't show the clips of you take your son to the concession stand and it was at a 4 foot folding table in the hallway by the bathroom? Why you ain't showing them clips?
Are you done? Are you done?
I might be.
You
You know
know
what?
what?
I'm just give myself let you do the
Oh man, I done. Goodness gracious, it has been a day. It has absolutely been a day. Um, while I was in traffic today, I was informed that Florida State had apparently got into a Twitter dust up with the University of Nebraska for some strange reason. And I guess people want to reimagine their programs. And for what I said, I am going to apologize. Maybe I went too far. Maybe I was too rough. But the last time Nebraska was relevant, Tom Osborne was roaming the sideline. And that was the absolute last time they were relevant. The last time they were good, the Southwestern Conference was still together. But that's another story for another day. Absolutely another story for another day. Um, Tonight we got a lot of stuff to talk about. The NBA draft was last night. Um, Cooper Flag consensus number one NBA pick, and was that pick? Um, I'm. You got something to say, Marlo?
I'm just I'm just gonna sit this here for everybody that really don't pay attention. He is a terrible interviewer. Absolutely terrible. He looks very uncomfortable. He is a outstanding baller. The kid gets buckets and he got the length to defend. But if they're trying to make him the face of the NBA, they got a PR problem.
Well, Magic was
They
like that too.
they got a PR problem. This dude, that like his brothers had more charisma than he did standing up there. That
He, he just got in the league. Give him some time.
this dude was all world at Duke and has been the number one overall pick since probably midway of the season. He probably even before that, before he got to Duke. They
You
were
do
just
know.
waiting for him to finish his freshman season.
Well, you do know
So
some families are not. They don't. A lot of these families are thrown into this spotlight, so they are not thinking, "Oh, well, we need to get media savvy and we need to get them PR people so he can learn how to conduct himself in interviews." That's all a process. It all happens. He gonna be all right. He gonna be all right.
no, he's going to be outstanding for a basketball player, but he has a lot of developing to do as far as the media is concerned, because that's what the game is about. How can you have your highest overall pick of your 2025 season not be able to talk to people in media? Like his answers were so vanilla. His he said more in his rollout than he did in the interview. So yeah, that was concerning to me.
Well, he will have time to get all that corrected in a big media market as Dallas. My Probably my number one concern with him is where is he going to play? Because AD does not like to play center, and from what everybody's telling me, Cooper Flag is a four. So if he's playing four, what is AD playing?
This is the NBA. A 4 is a 3, a 3 is a 2 is wherever they want you to play. They don't ain't no real positions anymore. He can play with his back to the basket or he can shoot the lights out. He's that kind of talent. So I don't think he'll have a problem fitting in. What it does make Dallas is more relevant than they was before the draft. You come back with a healthy Kyrie, a healthy AD, and a healthy Cooper. They see no one. And they got a bench.
Well, they don't big salary cap hit with Luka not being on the team, so they're gonna be able to go out and get a few more players to round out their squad. So
Mm-hmm.
we're definitely gonna see what that does. By the way, we would talk about Houston and their deep bench. However, TP's youngest son turns 2 today, so he may be in a little later, but today he turns 2. So shout out to the little guy. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Um, Tonight is the second part of the draft, and I'm trying to get an update. I'm trying to see where we are right now. Utah, no, who's on the clock right now? Minnesota's on the clock right now. Hey, there's Doc.
I was coming.
Oh, I know you was. I know you was.
Got a situation with my contact, so yeah, that's why I got my screen off. So bear with me.
You good? I'm sitting here. I'm trying to go through this draft recap real quick.
How about Ace Bailey taking a wrong bet on himself?
Okay, so here's my thought on it. Right, he was gambling anyway. Right.
He wasn't gambling nothing. And the people that pulled the strings was gambling. They was gambling with his future. Because he did not decide not to talk to these other teams. So that was his team.
Well, ain't no clubs in Salt Lake City like that.
Maybe that's good for him because we're here. Since we're here, we got to have the discussion because two teams had two players taken in the top 10 and they didn't win a national championship, didn't come close to winning a national championship. Rutgers was bottom dwellers and they got two of the best players in the NBA draft. Should have been top 3. But Ace Bailey of the two, and I know everybody loves Ron Harper's son, Ace Bailey has the greatest upside. He's going to go to Utah and be a superstar.
I don't think he'd be a superstar. I think on the real, Utah is waiting on for AJ DeBan to come out of BYU, and they build around him.
Oh, they 100% trading Ace Bailey when the Bantha come out of school. 100%. They paid. I'm sorry. I don't. You know what? I shouldn't say they paid for that kid. That would be wrong.
No, you're right. They paid for
it. Where did Danny Ainge go to school at?
BYU.
Okay, so they paid good money for that young man, and I have a feeling that Ace Bailey might be on the cheap next year. It would be great if New York had a coach heading into round 2. Maybe. But again, there was that, and I guess the trade of the night was the Suns acquiring Mark Williams and then drafting a center at 29.
No, Maluch went. He didn't go 29. I think he went top. He went like 14 or something like that.
Either way, I'm trying to be nice because they still technically kids for another few months. But the Mark Williams trade was terrible. LA gave up on that trade because he was apparently injured when they traded him.
But you know what it is though. They're offloading that contract. They're trying to get rid of Bradley Bill. They're starting all over again.
Yeah, they 2 years too late for the Bradley Beal ordeal. The time to get rid of Bradley Beal was when you realized that he was not going to help you win a championship. That was time to get rid of Bradley Beal.
He came back again.
So
But my Mavs pulled it off last night. Nico's job is secured.
I think his job was secure either way.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you say the organization $40 million, your job is secure. I mean, look at what's happening in Boston. Hey, what's going on, Anthony? But again, it was the NBA draft. I'm not gonna say I was underwhelmed by this NBA draft because I did like Ace Bailey. I do like Con Knipple, but I like Con Knipple for other reasons. He gonna be in Charlotte. The only way anybody else getting the ball is if they never pass the Con Knipple, because he gonna shoot the ball. If you don't believe me, just ask the number one draft pick, Cooper Flag. So, but other than that, there wasn't anything that just wowed me. This isn't one of those top draft picks, or one of those top drafts where you think, "Oh man, we got 3 Hall of Famers." This is more what I call the professional draft. You got a bunch of dudes that's going to be on squads for 10, 15 years. Will they be superstars? Again, talent-wise, I think Ace Bailey got the most talent to be a superstar. Whether that happens or not, we will see. But again, it's just the NBA draft. So we won't hold too much stock into that. But Doc, something happened this week. And I don't understand it because my PWI don't do no stuff like that.
Right.
My PWI is respectful.
Right.
Let me make sure I know where this school at. Oh yeah, it's in Hattiesburg. Okay, so for some reason, them people in Hattiesburg decided that, you know what, we gonna do a Milli Vanilli, and I would play the Milli Vanilli drop, but that's definitely a copyright flag, so I ain't gonna play that drop. But they played Milli Vanilli, and for some strange reason, I saw Southern Miss imagery, but I was hearing Human Jukebox. I know I was hearing Human Jukebox.
Oh yeah, that's what I've heard. You heard that, baby? Human Jukebox. Human Jukebox. You heard that when I showed you that video?
Yeah. I know what they sound like.
Excellent.
and the jokes that I make about the human jukebox are all based on what I was told. Again, so, but it's the human jukebox. I've listened to them enough. I've watched them enough to know what they sound like. I know some of their signature songs. Hearing their signature song come from Southern Miss imagery, we can go ahead and get outside. What's going on, Craig? We can seriously take it outside. Um, it is cultural appropriation to say the least. And then this is my favorite part: the audacity, the unmitigated gall
To
to
double
want
down.
to troll Jackson State.
To double down and troll us.
I,
Do they not know that team that they played in 2018 was one of by far our worst team in that 6-year run of being bad? And you decide to put a picture up or a video up of the last time we was down in Hattiesburg. Now, put a video up of how you was last season. The reason why your coach got fired. The reason why you had to go to Huntington, West Virginia to get a new head football coach. Put up videos about that. Because last time I checked, to be honest with you, out of all the major schools in the state of Mississippi, that school on 1400 J.R. Lynch Street run the whole state. The last time I checked, we got a national championship before Ole Miss. Let that be.
So to be clear, Southern Miss won a national championship in Division II in 1958 and 1962. I don't.
A 60-year gap is crazy to troll somebody.
I,
I feel like Ike Turner. You better find yourself enemy.
at least Nebraska has some national championships before segregation. At least they have some.
So, I mean, there's a lot of schools that had national championships before integration and segregation and Jim Crow, but you don't hear them brag about it right now. You hear most people brag about the chips that they have in this last century, or in this last, in the last decade or so, the last 5 years. I put it like that.
And I 100% am the totality of your history is what you should be known by. They don't have no totality. They don't have no.
I would say back in the day, back then, they were, if you watch them, they played anybody anywhere. They didn't care who you was. And, I mean, they took on the attitude of their coach. But of course, time is the time is of the essence. They couldn't get it done, and they let the coach go. They had a few years they were losing, and then they brought in I think they brought in Larry Fedora. Fedora got them on the winning track. They let him go on some bull. And then I think when they brought in I think it was it Monken? someone said they started winning, but then when they let him go, they've been ass for like the last 6 years.
Doing my research, one of their coaches left and went and took a team to a bowl game. Was it?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not.
Larry Fedora took them to a bowl game. I think Monken took them to a bowl game. If you think about it, Fedora and Monken came from the system. They came from the Mike Gundy system.
Okay.
That tree.
Jeff
Bauer was pretty much he was a staple to Southern Miss in the 90s and the early 2000s. They had this motto say they play anytime, anywhere, any place.
They should go back to that because right now what they're doing is just getting whooped. But we got some realignment news. Texas State is joining the Pac-12, the worst kept secret in America. I don't. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'll tell you what I think.
Go ahead, Troy.
So I've seen conference realignment, and it's always in twos. It's never in ones. Although this one will make them an 18 conference. They get a championship game, and I think I'm not sure if they get an automatic qualifier to the college football playoffs, but they do get a championship game. If they add another team, that will give them 8 conference games. So there's that. And why are we playing with Sacramento State? Why? Why are we playing? Let's just get to this. Why are we playing with Sacramento State? Y'all keep playing with them people. They done got an attorney. If y'all go to court, the NCAA lose a lot recently. So I don't know why we playing with them people. They done raised the money. But for all intents and purposes, they're not a FCS school. They have an NIL. They have a Division I head coach. Why are we still playing with the people? I don't like. And it ain't all on the NCAA. It's some conferences out there that need schools, and they fit the need for those schools. So I don't understand it. I don't. It's stupid at this point. All them years we had independent schools, Notre Dame is independent. Now, granted, Sacramento State ain't Notre Dame. We get that. But there have been independent teams out there. This shouldn't be a problem. I don't know if this is we don't want to share the money type deal, we don't like you type deal. I don't know what the problem is. But that president of that university, that brother has done everything by the book, raised the money, got people to buy in. The only problem is the NCAA. But that it is what it is. Like I said, when Texas State is playing in the Pac-12 and Sacramento State is probably playing there or one of the mid-major conferences in the next 2 years, we're going to really see what this NCAA life is like. Because I'm still under the mindset that there is going to be another division of Division I football. And it's a few conferences, not even a few, it's one conference that has positioned themselves to be ready for that move. So, but Doc,
Yeah.
Austin Reeves turned down $90 million, man.
He betting on himself.
I saw that earlier.
Are we are we sure he should be betting on himself?
I don't know, but he sure.
Because
Sometimes self confidence is the best. I don't know. I don't know. I saw that and I was like, huh? That was my example. I was like, wait, let me read this again.
the yacht boat captain cannot play defense. I just, I'm trying to y'all see. I'm trying to be better today. I was beside myself a little bit today. And I'm trying to be better, but $90 million. What do you think you're gonna get on the? You know what? What am I talking about? Washington is out there.
Mm-hmm.
He right. Somebody's gonna overpay for him. It's the NBA. What am I talking about? What am I absolutely
They
talking
always
about?
do. They always do.
Um, long as my Knicks don't, I'm okay. It would be nice for them to get a coach. You know, sometime after the draft.
Sometime soon,
You know, it's
it'll be
or,
good.
or just tell me Jalen Brunson that is the head coach. Like, let's just get it over with. Um, but, you know, the Charlotte Hornets are on the clock. So, just to recap, Charlotte is a dumpster fire. Washington is a dumpster fire. The Pelicans are a dumpster fire. But I'm not sure why they're still holding on to Zion after they got rid of everybody else. I just, I don't, I don't know. Um, but again, we'll watch the situation. Marlo has faith that the Orlando Magic will figure it out. And Marlo not the only one.
Oh, you see the shirt.
Oh yeah, this man, he sang the Orlando Magic song
I
and then
cannot.
logged out.
That wasn't me. That was a hater. Somebody hating on my internet.
Was that Brew?
No, that was the universe.
I'm just, listen. I want everybody to know Marlo has been on this show wearing all his favorite sports teams paraphernalia. I haven't seen any Orlando Magic gear.
Does he like the
Only
Magic?
because, but it's only because when a team pissed me off, I'm gonna support them and I'm gonna hope they do great. But
He just gonna
I
support him
can't
from
display
afar.
their merch on my person. Yeah, like I have Orlando Magic gear. Like I used to go to all the games, like literally all the games. But when Otis decided he wanted to be just the GM dumbass, I, yeah, I'm
He's talking about
I'm
Otis
starting to
Smith.
get over my anger. I'm starting to get over my anger, but I was angry, bitter, even. Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You got angry with a franchise and didn't support them like you normally do. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Hmm.
Because they chose to let that happen.
They chose to be bad managers of the product.
No, no, no. I chose not to pay to go to their game. That's what I chose not to do.
Oh no. You
But I
chose to
still
go to
root
the
for them.
game. You chose okay. So I want to remind people of who Malu is. So just bear with me for a second.
Like, you gonna have to see a therapist about this Florida State thing, bro. Cause
Wait a minute. No, we not. We not. You know what, TP? We not finna do this. You know why we not finna do this? Because there's some dude on this podcast whose squad lost to Bethune-Cookman 10 years in a row.
and we still have a running record against Bethune. We could have lost to Bethune 20 years in a row and still would have a winning record against Bethune-Cookman. We
TP,
still 30,
ask him
30
him
wins
his
up.
feelings 3 years ago when they lost to Bethune.
Oh, I don't care if we were playing.
No, don't do
Ohio
that.
State.
No. What was your attitude after y'all lost to BC 3 years ago?
Oh, I was definitely not happy. I don't know nobody who root for a team and they lose and you be happy.
But you gonna degrade me in my outrage.
There has never at any point I said, and I quote, I hope my head coach get hit by a Nerf bus. I'm not finna march the 100 down the street in front of his house, hoping I wake him up and disturb his rest enough that he would want to move and leave Tallahassee. I have never been that angry at any coach.
Marlo, it seems that maybe you just as
There's
angry
no
as me.
maybe. Absolutely not. I ain't never said I want them to lose or my coach to get their coach to get fired. I hate the trades they do. You had probably I can go back maybe 10 players that you had in signed on the dotted line and you got rid of, thinking you're building a better squad, and it goes the opposite way. That you signed the Graham Hill injured, and he leaving Orlando 4 years. Come on now.
Listen,
I'm,
listen.
I'm still upset. I'm not going to go pay for that. I'm going to cheer them on TV. Hope they win every game they play. But I'm not going to go spend my hard-earned money to allow them to go pay somebody who ain't going to play. I ain't doing that.
That is Marlo's equivalent of hitting the coach with a Nerf bus. Marlo goes to the Bucks games, sits in the end zone, watch the other team score, and then leaves. And he still goes back and spends his money. So if he's not going to spend his money, yeah, that's Marlo's version of hitting the coach with a Nerf bus. But Marlo not going to give you his dollars, yeah, that's Marlo being feisty for sure.
But management of the Bucks is light years different from the management of the Magic. Light years.
I would, again, and we'll get into the Bucks situation right next. I would just like to say, if you could look at the Magic situation with an open heart, they play in a slightly more difficult league than the Bucks do. The Bucks play in the NFC South. It's one team that's been stable at the quarterback position, and that's the Bucks. And their quarterback is Baker Mayfield, who at any moment, if he, I don't know, like he has been this is the best Baker Mayfield has ever been, and he's been average.
Really not sure. Not sure why you're talking about my quarterback. You need to talk about your own quarterback and the issues that the man has.
I'm trying to figure out who is
That's
that
what we need to
quarterback.
be.
Hold on. Let's hold on.
You
Let's roll
know,
this back. Let's roll this back. Let's roll this back. Mullo, in the year 2025 of our Lord, you are now saying that Baker Mayfield is your quarterback. In the year 2023 of our Lord, who was your quarterback again? Remind the fans.
I get it. Whoever they starting is not.
He breaking up fans a little bit. Let me go
Is he
ahead.
my
He breaking up. Let me go ahead and help everybody out. So Baker Mayfield is his quarterback right now. But in 2023, he was professing love for a boot skin. And I told him, a boot skin ain't never gonna be your answer. And as much as I didn't like Baker Mayfield, I knew Kyle Trash wasn't gonna be the starter. His name is Trash. I knew he wasn't gonna be the starter. So for Marlo to sit here and act like, oh, this is my quarterback and I follow him to the end, he didn't even want the dude to be his quarterback. Oh, Marlo's back. Marlo's back, everybody. He's gonna tell you how much he loved Baker Mayfield. Don't believe it.
Baker Mayfield is a great quarterback. Well, Baker Mayfield is the current starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he's gonna be great in my book.
I almost spit water on my new computer. This podcast almost ended prematurely. You said Baker Mayfield is a great quarterback? Great.
2 years ago, he was the best quarterback at the Pro Bowl. Last year, he rated high at the Pro Bowl. He didn't win it like he did the year before. But yeah, he outthrew all the quarterbacks that were at the Pro Bowl.
Baker Mayfield.
And people want to talk about my quarterback.
It's not the quarterback itself. It's Marlo's fake fandom of the quarterback only because the quarterback plays for his team. We went through this with Marlo though before. We went through this with Tom Brady.
And he was my quarterback.
But again, listen. I just wanted it on record. So when we tell TP this what he said, TP has everything in context and we can move forward. So speaking of your books, your coach Todd Bowles and the GM Mr. Light got contract extensions, or they're in the works of contract extensions.
Yeah, they should. They deserve it.
They are doing yeoman's work in the worst league in the NFL, the absolute worst division, and they are putting hands and feet like they should on the worst people in their division. Now, is Atlanta going to bounce back? Bounce back is just such a strong word. Is Atlanta going to show up finally? I don't know. I don't have what's going on in Charlotte is not a 1 year deal. I think they got another 2 years before they get back to good footing. And then, hey, New Orleans, I think New Orleans people don't know what New Orleans is going to do.
New Orleans is a dumpster fire.
So, The Bucks go to the playoffs by default. Everybody else basically forfeited the
But
season.
you say we go to the playoffs by default, but we win when we get to the playoffs. So I don't even understand how that's by default.
Okay, Marlo. Y'all be a absolute deflated Philadelphia Eagles. What, 2 years ago? The following year they won the Super Bowl. After that victory, y'all played the Detroit Lions. Y'all was not winning that game because the Detroit Lions was just too physical at that point. Understood that.
And by kneecaps.
Yeah. Last year, who did y'all play last year? Who did y'all play last year in the playoffs?
I know we lost to Washington.
All right, so yeah, y'all lost to Washington. Yeah, y'all lost to Washington. No, that's 24. That's hold on, 25.
Last year.
That was 24. 25, y'all lost to Washington.
Yeah, that was last season.
Get a wild card. The year before, y'all beat Philly and then lost to Washington. Oh, I might have it other way around. I'm sorry, y'all beat Philly the year before, and then y'all lost to the Detroit Lions the year before. But yes, y'all got to the playoffs last year and got sent home. But y'all made the playoffs. It's teams that didn't make the playoffs. My team didn't make the playoffs. So y'all made the playoffs. And again, arguably the worst division in football. The fact that the NFC East got off the map.
We have more playoff wins in the last 5 years than your team has in the last 20.
Okay.
So stop it.
We play in the AFC West.
I don't care what you play. Y'all don't get to the playoffs and y'all don't win when you get there.
Okay.
So you need to stop that foolishness.
If you
done
took
won
New
Super Bowl in the last
Orleans,
5 years.
if you took New Orleans out of the NFC South and put the Raiders in, it is a different division.
No, I don't think so. It'll be the same division.
Oh, because the Bucks still in there with Atlanta and Charlotte. Okay, I get what you're saying, Doc. I get what you're saying. I'll just say this.
No, what he was saying was the Raiders won't make out a business tougher. Y'all suck.
You got that? You feel good about that? You got that?
That's what he was saying.
I already got an eyebrow bet. I can't make no more bets until after the season start. After October 11th, I can make some more bets. I can definitely make me some more bets. Because, October 11th in Tallahassee, I'm going to be at the RV with the Clippers. But, again, congratulations to Todd Bowles, all trolling aside. Definitely earned his money's worth. Getting Baker Mayfield to the point where Marlo is calling him a great quarterback. Yeah, you earned your money. Because you earned your money.
You throw for over 30 touchdowns and over 4,000 yards, you spinning the field. You can't take that away.
I mean, all I can go by is what you say when I'm in the stadium with you in the stands. That's all I can go by. So if you feel like I have been unjustly critical of your quarterback, you are the reason, sir. But um, so moving kind of quick tonight. One other little. I guess we can. No, you know what? It is the right show. It is definitely the right time. Because what I saw today on the internet, fast break hoops, we need to have a conversation.
The disrespect segment.
Uh-oh.
So today, I was on the internet, minding my own business, as always. And fast break hoops put out a few lists today, right? One of them was all-time ISO players.
Who they had at number one?
They had Michael Jordan at number one. Number one wasn't the problem. That wasn't my problem, right?
All-time ISO players? No, I still got an issue with number one, him being at number one.
Why you got an issue with Mike being number one?
Because the only reason why he played ISO ball was because of the type of offense that he was in. Who was number two for best ISO player?
I'm trying to pull it up. I'm trying to go to my replies. It may take me a little while to scroll, y'all, because I be on people's heads on Twitter, so forgive me. Oh. Where is it? Oh, here. Oh, that's the ball handler list. Oh man, why I gotta go through this? He tweet more than I do. Gee, Mo Nelly. And again, I just know when he came up with the ISO list, not to have Alex English on that list is crazy. And again, I can just tell by the tweets. He's a young guy.
You really need to stop that shit.
What are you talking about? The man rolls out of bed and scores 20 on accident.
Okay.
Oh my God, this dude. He has to have an app tweeting for him. There's no way he tweets this much in an hour. Anyway, there's the ball handler list.
Kyrie at the top is all right with me.
With the ball handler list?
Mm-hmm. Ain't somebody better. There ain't three people better than him handling the ball in the NBA right now.
Nah, hold on. Is this a right now list? This guy no, this is all time list.
Ever, all time.
Whew. So I got Zeke. I got hold on, let me
See, I'm looking at this list. He said on tier one, he got AI and Kyrie, which AI has handles, but it's not as elite as Kyrie's. Then to have Jason to have white chocolate in tier 3 is blasphemous. To have Derrick Rose in tier 5 is blasphemous. Why the hell you got KD on here? Don't get me wrong, he does have some good ball handling skills, but that ain't his game. You got Steve Francis at on in tier 4. You got Steph. You got Stephon. You got Starberry.
So, just on this list, I love Kobe. Don't get me wrong. Love Kobe. Kobe and Mike shouldn't be on this list. Who's not on this list, who should be on this list, and we need to take it with a grain of salt because the NBA tried to change this game. Skip to my Lou. Rayford Austin should be on this list.
Why do you have Bob Cousy on this list? Tell me.
Oh no. Bob should be on the list. Bob most definitely in his time. Bob should be on the list. Not in the 90s time. In his time.
I can understand Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete was nice. And again, I want people to go back and don't look at just the Celtics game. Go look at Bob Cousy highlights. What he was doing with the ball on the break, because that was the only time, y'all need to understand, the only time the players back then got to freelance was on the fast break. That's why they used to love to play defense, because they got to do free-flowing stuff on defense. They got to dunk when they was on the break. So understand why that happened the way it did, but I'm cool with Bob Cousy. Washington Wizards. Why can't I think of his name right now?
Rod Strickland.
Rod Strickland. Rod Strickland should be on this list. Without Rod Strickland, you don't get Kyrie.
That is true.
So he should be on the list. I agree. KD should not be on this list. I get it. He for a big man, he do have a little shake to his game, but he ain't doing what Zeke doing.
Or Tim Hardaway.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Why is Mahmoud Abdul Rauf not on this list?
The Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
The artist formerly known as Chris Jackson, y'all need to go back and play some respect. Put some respect on his name. Because there's two dudes in the NBA that I got respect for as hoopers. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf is one of them. Absolute one of them. Somebody else here is missing, and he's only Jason Kidd, John Stockton.
Yeah.
You cannot. Steve Nash can't be on this list without John Stockton. I'm sorry. Absolutely sorry. That man cannot hold John Stockton's jockstrap. He should have. I'm not gonna say that because everybody gonna say I'm
I don't see Kevin Johnson on here.
Dennis Johnson should be on here, man. And don't get me wrong, I like Rajon Rondo's game, but he ain't one of them dudes that I think, oh my god, like I don't want to be isolated against him. That ain't him.
I didn't hear y'all say Baron Davis at all.
You know what?
B Diddy, yes, B Diddy got to be on here too.
Baron Davis, yep.
Charlotte B Diddy. Let's get that out the way. Charlotte version. The Hornet.
Hey, that's a good point of emphasis. You gotta with some of these guys, you gotta say which Now, which
Yeah, what
team are we
version?
talking about?
Yeah.
Because then
Um,
you look at, I see Steve Francis on here. I ain't talking about Orlando Magic Steve Francis. You got to give me Houston Rockets Steve Francis. That's who you got to give me. You got to give me Stephon Marbury when he was with either with the Timberwolves or with the New Jersey Nets. Um, Jamal Crawford with just any team because he just had handles just like that. Uh,
ooh, yeah.
A prime Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't have Kyrie on the top list. I'm looking at he can't be top for me. For me, he can't be top
Why not?
because all right, Golden State, Tim Hardaway was a problem.
Yeah, I know. I used to watch him.
Kyrie is most definitely second tier, but my AI is my top tier, and it will be between. This way it get hard. It'll be between Rod Strickland, Tim Hardaway. Yeah, it'd be between them two dudes. Because that UTEP step, listen, the fact that he didn't break his knees every other day,
Oh yeah, the UTEP two step
oh my God. This,
where he did the crossover and put it under his knees, behind his back.
his crossover was so fast and so clean. Like, yes, you're going to fall. It is okay. Just sit down. It's okay. And then he would just blow by you after he just shook you out your socks. Whew. I don't know. I'll give him this. This list is tougher than the ISO list. The
I
ISO
mean,
list is easier.
The ISO list is if you ain't got Joe Johnson on there, I don't want to talk to you about it. If you ain't got
Oh no, hold on. Let me actually I put it in the group chat. Let me go get this link. I know I put it in the group chat. I know he had Joe Johnson in there.
The name that should be in there that ain't is Glenn Robinson.
thank you, big dog.
Big baby.
Oh no, not big baby, big dog.
Who you said?
Glenn Robinson,
Oh,
big dog
No,
from Purdue with
yeah,
the hot.
Big Baby is taking photos in the pen right now.
yeah.
All
I
right,
was gonna
so
say.
I don't know. Can y'all see this? Yeah, this is the ISO scoring list. All right, so this is the ISO scoring list, and this what got me in my feelings. Right, I'm looking at this list.
I must be blind as a bat, cause baby, this thing is so hard to see.
Um, oh,
Let me see if I can adjust my phone. That's a little better.
Okay, I
all
see
right.
No,
Jordan.
I'm old.
Yep, he got Jordan, Kobe, KD, AI on tier 3. He got Carmelo, the Beard. I'm not sure who this Laker dude is.
That's not a
Shaq,
Laker.
Who
that's a
you
LA
looking at?
Laker. This is a LA Laker. Oh no, that's Utah Jazz. Who?
That's Adrian Dantley, bro.
Oh, Adrian Dantley. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he
ISO.
looked like a cross between Richard Jefferson and Reggie Miller. Like, what
Yeah,
the heck?
Shaq. Okay, so here's where we got to differentiate between post playing and ISO playing. We got to differentiate between that, right? When we talk ISO, we talking about guards, wings at some point, either on the wing or at the top of the key, and whoever is guarding them is at their mercy. I have a problem when we start putting centers in this list. That's one, right? Um, on the fourth tier again, it, Even with what I just said, Wilt Chamberlain be on the 4th tier. If you're going to include centers, is crazy.
I see Will Chamberlain. I see Joe Johnson. Is that T-Mac?
Mm-hmm.
Paul Pierce, Kyrie, and Dirk.
Dirk 100% should not be on here.
That's what I said.
Dirk,
I've watched Dirk for 21 years. Dirk ain't never been an ISO player. I'm just being real. Dirk could give you 25 points, and he not ISOing you. Dirk is going to be in somebody's corner on the wing at the top of the key. He gonna get you in the mid range. He gonna get you with the back to the basket. He gonna put his famous one-legged fadeaway on your ass. And what can you do to stop it? Nothing. He's not an ISO player. Will Chamberlain should not be on here because he was big, tall, athletic, fast, strong. Yes, he was an all-around athlete. He should not be on the best ISO player.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and read off a few things, right? 8-time All-Star, Hall of Fame. Averaged 21.5 points a game. In his worst season, he averaged 5.2 points a game. That was his first season with Milwaukee. In 1982, he averaged 28.4 points a game playing for Denver. Let's just take the Denver years. 79 to 80, he averaged 21.3.
Are we talking Alex English?
We're talking about Alex English.
Oh, he was a dog.
In 81, he averaged 23.8. In 82, 25.4. 83, 28.4. 84, 26.8. 26.4. 85. Wait, hold on, I skipped on. 85, 27.9. 86, 29.8. 87, 28.5. And then he went into decline.
He came to the Mavericks.
And he was still at Denver. 25 points, 88, 89, 26 points. Last year in Denver, he had 17.9. And in his last year in the league, he had 9.7 points a game. He played from 77 to 91. Right? 15 years.
And in his 15 years, his first year and his last year was his worst years.
This man career average was 21.5. And I'm telling he got you on that wing, and he either blowing by for a layup, or he gonna back you down, and you gonna get that. It wasn't no fakeness to his jumper. He was leaning into you and shooting over you. Man.
Now Big Dog should be on here. Big Dog should be on here as ISO player. Also, I'm looking at it. You got Carmelo too low because he need to be like top 2. Cause let's see who else.
I'm cool with. I didn't go down far enough. Why is Luka on here?
Luka is an ISO player.
I know. I just don't want him on the list.
Jamal Crawford is not an ISO player.
No, Jamal not ISO.
DeMar can be an ISO, but he's not an ISO player. DeMar is a mid-range guy.
Is Dwayne Wade ISO?
Yeah.
Okay.
He can get you some ISO buckets. Gilbert Arenas is definitely an ISO player.
Oh yeah, no, I have no problems with that.
Now you got Hakeem Olajuwon. He's an ISO player on the block.
Yeah. Yeah, that's again. I know the list. There is a difference between people who watch basketball in eras, and then younger people who watching basketball right now, and then you can tell because you're not gonna see the reason. I could see why Alex English is not on this list. You wasn't gonna see him a bunch on during that time span on TV. You was only gonna see them when they was in a prime time, 3 o'clock game on NBC playing the Lakers. That was the only time you were seeing Denver. You weren't seeing Denver no other time.
I got a question. Why is Cybertron not on here? Antoine Walker.
That's a good question.
Why is Cybertron not on here? Why is Latrell Sprewell not on here?
Man, I was just thinking that. You could take these centers off and put a very valid list together. You can put a valid list together. And again, originally I was ready to bash him because I see you put Michael Jordan top. That's easy to do. That doesn't take no thought process. Oh, Mike wouldn't be my number one ISO guy.
My number one ISO guy would have been Carmelo.
Yeah, because Melo was just bull strong. Like people, even though he didn't take care of his body like we saw LeBron take care of his, like Carmelo was like Carolina pushing over hogs strong. Like he was just I don't want to say that word but he was a different kind of country strong. So, but hold on, am I missing somebody? No, I got everybody. But yeah, that was an interesting list. And again, I was in my feelings when I didn't see Alex English because that is my favorite player of all time. You
said T-Mac on this list?
T-Mac is on the list. Hold on. Yeah, he is on tier 4.
It should be up.
Yeah. And then since we here, a few weeks ago, people was talking like T-Mac was being disrespected by some of the greatest of all time discussions and the quote unquote ring culture and all of that. I love T-Mac. I hate that he went to the Orlando Magic. Absolutely hate it. But we need to be honest about some stuff, right? Tracy McGrady had an opportunity to go to a better situation. And to act like when he went to Houston, they didn't have the pieces to win a national championship, to win a world championship, is a little bit disingenuous. They had some pieces. So to say that he didn't have an opportunity to win a championship, that's not fair. Now, did he have an opportunity to win 3 to 4 championships? No. And even if he had won a championship, do we look at him any differently than we do now? I don't think so. I think he's still one of those great ball players who didn't win the championship. I think he maximized his talent, but we don't talk about him with the Kobe's and we don't talk about him with Michael Jordan because he not in a. Some dudes just, and it's not the rings themselves; it's the journey for them to the ring is what make them different. So I don't know. Y'all tell me how y'all feel, because this whole anti-ring culture stuff, it feel like a certain No Chill Gil podcast trying to talk their way into the Hall of Fame. And I don't.
Well, I'm gonna say this. T-Mac had a chance to get a great talent when he was in Orlando when Tim Duncan's contract was getting ready to be up with San Antonio. And the thing that messed it up for him was, quote, Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers messed that whole thing up. All because he said that Tim Duncan could bring his wife on the plane. You mean to tell me that if you want to win the championship in this generational, because Tim Duncan is a generational talent, right? Everybody knows he's a generational talent. The big fundamental. And you mean to tell me that you don't allow wives on the plane because it could have been a big three in Orlando. It was going to be T-Mac. It was going to be Grant Hill. And you could have had Tim Duncan in Orlando. They're a Lawrence Strong running the point. Tim don't even have to play the four. I mean, have to play the five. He could play his natural four because I think they had Doliak that played five. You slide Grant Hill at three. T-Mac playing the two is a nightmare for a lot of other two guards out there because you can't guard. You can't defend 6'9" like that with ball handling and everything. Who can shoot over you?
And T-Mac, stop lying. You ain't no 7 foot. Stop telling people you don't know how tall you is. You know exactly how tall you is. Stop that.
T-Mac 6'9".
Getting on these people podcasts talking about you don't know how tall you is. We know how tall you is. But
no, that's KD that be saying like, no, I'm 6'9". No, Negro, you're 7 foot. We know how tall you are. Dude.
Yeah, we know how tall he is too, just like we know how tall KD is. You 7 foot. What the hell? Oh.
But he had a chance to get they had a chance to get a ring in Orlando, and Doc Rivers messed that up. Just like Doc Rivers messed a lot of things up. He just got lucky when he got to Boston and they assembled that team right there.
Yeah. Well, but shout out to Fast Break Hoops for giving us something to talk about because I was as soon as I saw that list without Atlas English, I was quote tweet how your list don't have Atlas English on it immediately. So shout out to them. But that happened today. I on this podcast, I have been critical of my Florida State Seminoles head football coach. I may have even been
critical is not the word, bro.
I was just about to say, critical is like being really, really kind.
Right. Critical to you is not the word.
I have not always been a fan of his work. However, and I need to make sure we have this in context, he has never, at his time at Florida State, landed a top 10 recruiting class.
Troy, this is you when you know that he messed up with a play call. This is you. This is you, Troy.
That's crazy.
You see it, Marlo? This is Troy when
but what he has done What he has
Listen to
done
Carla.
this June, I got to give him credit for. I didn't think he had it in him. Now, again, I need to caution everybody. Coach repress. I'll work on the. I will hit him up and get the correct enunciation of his name. But Coach Repress has been there, so there's that working. And on top of that, and I keep bringing this up over and over again, they now have $22.5 million at their fingertips to get players. So I understand what the dynamics are going to be going forward. And he has done excellent work in June. But I'm going to caution myself because June doesn't do anything on the football field from September to January. And the goal is to get through January. So my expectations of him are still the same. He got to win a playoff game. If he keep doing this, well, no, these are 2026 players, so I'm not going to raise the bar insanely high. Win a playoff game. That's the goal. That should keep your job. Not winning a playoff game, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. We're not Florida. Not winning championships is unacceptable. So, but also shout out to that to Coral Gables HOA. They are also in the top 10 in recruiting. Not in the top 10 in recruiting is that school in Gainesville. Them Bootskins not in the top 10 currently. I hear things that maybe they'll get in the top 10, but not currently in the top 10. But I don't know. Did I want to make sure I ain't missed nothing. I ain't missed nothing. Now, go through this little list real quick. Oh, shout out to PV versus everybody. Apparently, he is in Jackson, Mississippi today. So shout out to him. He feels like he's going to be in a championship game. I just, I had to let him know that Jackson, Mississippi is a strange way to say Tallahassee. But whatever.
Oh Lord.
I mean,
Lordy.
we have to acknowledge a few things this season. Come on, somebody's there. Oh, there go TP. What's going on, sir?
What up?
Well, I hope you had
Happy birthday to the young Padawan.
Yeah, happy birthday to the little one.
He eating his
Big
cake
two.
right now.
He's what?
We just did the happy birthday and everything. That was even an adventure because the other ones kept trying to grab the cake.
Oh God.
Good times though. Good times.
Do my
Time
Lakers
does fly.
Do my Lakers even have a pick? What's going on?
Hey, here you go, TP. Go on and get you a shirt. Extra large.
Not Culture Vulture.
Culture Vulture.
Who's the Culture Vulture? Drake?
Both of them.
These dudes have one draft pick 50 from OKC.
I forgot that the draft was round 2 of the draft was tonight.
Did we talk about Bronny declining his $45 million offer?
Bronny?
Yeah, he declined the 3-year option, the player opt-in.
The player option.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
what?
he betting on himself.
Austin Reeves declined his too.
Yeah, we talked about Austin. I missed
Oh,
that.
wait, hold on.
I didn't see that about
I didn't
Bronny.
know that.
Maybe it was fake news because I was trying to figure out how does a rookie even have a player opt-in option after 1 year.
Well, he was drafted in the second round. That's the reason why.
Oh, okay. So why did Austin Reeves decline his player option?
Bet on himself.
He think he him.
Well,
He gonna get his ass Dennis Schroeder. And that's what he's
Somebody,
gonna do.
but here's the thing though, somebody is going to pay for him.
yeah,
Why?
that is true.
But I don't understand why. When you gonna get the same thing from a lot of these younger cats, and you basically paying them peanuts. The same thing, the same game, with a little more height. I guess he didn't have money so long. He he ain't got no choice but to try to bet on himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find the extension news.
That probably was fake news then.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Oh goodness. Woo, that would have. Mm. Matter of fact, let's look up his contract. he has a 4-year, $7.9 million contract with the Lakers.
Who?
Bronny James. There's a team option in year 4. A team option worth $2.5 million. That is hmm. But you're right. Cooper Flag turned down $90 million when he can't play defense to save his life.
Don't talk about my savior like that.
I'm saying though, 3 and D is usually there's a D in there for a reason. Like you have to have the defense part. Like otherwise, it's just 3. It is just 3. Um. So also today, I feel like I was attacked because ASVP Visuals asked, "Will everybody behave in the SWAC this year?" And we can't get Marlo to behave for an invite, let alone a whole season.
Don't blame Marlo.
I behave just fine, sir. I behave as if I'm a person who's been there, done that.
Who been there? Oh, I'm just, I just ask. All I do is ask questions. I understand what I do.
You need to go back and show them that reel you started the show with. Yeah, play that for a commercial. Let everybody see the stylings of their facilities.
So
Go ahead
TP,
and spin it. Go ahead
I'm
and spin it up.
I'm gonna show this for TP, and we
Yeah.
only showing this for TP. You think you slick? I know what you wanted to see. I know what you wanted
Y'all,
to see.
y'all
I
thought
know.
I was playing when I told y'all they had
Hey,
that
auditorium.
auditorium stage. Y'all thought it was fake news.
What was I
That
looking for?
you ain't see the stage to the right with the cheerleaders on it, where they had to do like the 2 tier because it wasn't enough room on the sideline. You ain't see that?
I was watching the plays.
Oh no, that's not what you're supposed to be paying attention to.
I
Oh,
saw
I
it and
was
I
paying.
needed the video.
I guess that's my fault because I be paying attention to what's going on the court. Y'all be looking at everything else.
You ain't have no choice. When you there, you're bewildered. You're befuddled even.
I guess if I show it again, show it one more time. Let me see it again.
You had
All I'm gonna say is, if you coming on a fast break and you don't slow down,
man,
It's over with.
it is
it's
over.
a wrap.
And that's college.
They gonna be some floor decals.
That's BC, right?
Don't cook me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ali.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
And the video was taken from the top of the stands. We was
That's
at the top.
that's the top.
We was on the
TP
10 rows
said that's
up.
the top.
It ain't no more.
That was
You
it.
can lie.
I don't know, but they was packed in on the other side. Like, oh, not all the way to the back, but like on the side of the corner, they was packed in over there.
well, the band took up part of the other side though.
Yeah, right in front of the band. Yeah, they packed up over there. Damn, that's the college facilities.
Yeah. And y'all think
They
I
did
be
that.
going in.
My high school was bigger than that.
Mhm.
Come to think about it, my high school was probably all their facilities better than BC.
any other night.
Jesus.
Hell Wildcats is in the chat tonight. He not in the chat.
He don't want to be. He saw how you started the show. And what's all problems?
So again, no, everybody's not gonna behave. We know Doc not gonna behave.
I'm gonna be too busy taking pictures.
Summer League. Who coming?
Oh yeah. When does it start?
in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
I'm gonna have to get a fight.
I live 15 minutes from where UNLV play.
Oh, say less. I know exactly how to
Oh,
get there.
you talk about that. Let me check my email for SWAC Media Day. Now, did you get your email yet for SWAC Media Day?
Nope, they ain't got it yet.
Okay.
I usually around like 2 weeks before. I usually email Andrew just to make sure.
Yeah. Well, he had already told me that, we always.
To do it the week.
Hey, Mr. Thornton, how you doing? Yeah, he told me like anytime we want to come, we always welcome. Which again, I would tell anybody like the love that the SWAC, even ESPN events have shown this platform. I appreciate it because we was just dudes making fun of everybody, having a good time, and they
I
invited us.
don't make fun. I don't make fun of everybody.
I do.
I just put the truth out there and hope you don't get too offended.
Did you make fun of the kid that got drafted by the Jazz?
I did not.
Ain't no club. Ain't no clubs in Salt Lake City.
I feel like
it's a bunch of racist LDSs up there.
But TP Marlo like to throw stuff out there like he don't do nothing. Like he the good Christian guy on the podcast.
Well, it's cool because they not Christians.
God is not done with me yet, so I'm not gonna claim that Christian banner. I do. Now, he know what he got. He know what he working with. So,
because I was getting ready to play the yard talk video. I was ready to go.
Blame it on my head, not my heart.
I just couldn't get over the look on the kid's face when they called his name for the Utah Jazz.
Oh yeah,
that was. You work your whole life to get to the NBA. You would think that there would be some type of, revelation of making it to the next level.
I say don't be ungrateful.
That's what it was given to me. A tad bit ungrateful. We appreciate the journey, but at the end of the day, just because this team drafted you, don't mean that that's where you have to end your career. You're not obligated to stay with a particular team, but you have fulfilled, a lifelong dream of making it to this level, and you can't even celebrate it because you didn't go where you wanted to go. This ain't 2K where you can start over, pick the team that's going to draft you and all that. Like, it don't work like that.
Reset button.
It's the entitlement for me. Like, you felt like you was entitled to go where you want to go based on what? If you was that good, you should have went number one. You would have got picked up with a team that was already ready to go to the playoff. But you wasn't good enough to be number one. So that's on you.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and I don't care who don't like it. Had he not been difficult during this process, maybe he don't go number one, but he certainly go number two.
You think so?
I told y'all it was not him, it was his team.
Absolutely. Because your team,
it wasn't him. Because he don't know enough not to go interview. All he know is somebody that made like they said on draft night, somebody that made this kid a promise.
Yeah. And now, I guess the team that drafted him, hey, we can talk trade now. Like, how do you come to a team with trade talks already in place? Because, and this reminds me of the whole Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers situation. We all know how that turned out. Eli's camp did not want him to go to San Diego. They said, we do not want him in San Diego at all. And what did San Diego do? They drafted Eli Manning. And it turned into a quick draft day trade because San Diego knew that, hey, if we're not going to take him and actually have him play for us, we're not about to lose the value of this pick. Because they, in a sense, felt like they were getting the lesser of the two quarterbacks. And one of them won 2 Super Bowls. The other one did not ever see a Super Bowl. But, that's another story.
Jameer Watkins from Florida State just got drafted in the second round.
Nice. Another question. How did 2 players drafted in the top 5 that played on the same team have a 15-17 record?
How does Rutgers head coach still keep a job?
You had 2 NBA players on your team. It ain't a lot of schools in the nation that can say that they had 2 NBA players, let alone 2 top 5 picks.
2 lottery picks.
2 lottery picks. And y'all didn't even finish 500. And I thought Mike Norvell was a horrible coach.
But when I do it, man.
Oh shit! That's some priceless egging right there.
Because when you do it, that's like the equivalent of a black man hating on another black man. It's self-hate. That's your school.
Yo.
But yeah, no, we was definitely talking about that earlier because I don't. So you just scoring points.
He let them do what they wanted, and it didn't result in wins, but it did result in them getting drafted. So now
I knew
the
Dylan
question:
Harper was gonna get drafted just off his pedigree.
Yep. And see, we know Dylan Harper is going to be able to play within the system because he's been brought up in an NBA household. This is something that his dad had to. So his dad was a point guard on the team that had Michael Jordan. So he wasn't really asked to play point guard. He was asked to play in the back court, yes, but that system didn't allow point guards to actually run the offense. If you ever looked at any of the Zen Man's offenses, that triangle offense, the point guard doesn't really facilitate the offense. It's all built around the 2 guard and the big man. And you work it inside, you work it back outside, you isolate your 2 guard. And if he's open, he takes a shot. If he's not, he gives it back to the big man who gives it to the open shot maker. That's the whole premise of their offense. And the point guard isn't facilitating. He's not running the high screen pick and roll all game. But there is a lot of fundamentals that goes to running this offense. And
when you think about it, though, TP, in that first 3P, who facilitated the offense? It was Pippen.
Yeah.
So it was Scotty. Scotty facilitated the offense coming from the 3 spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have a capable big man, like when you have a Bill Wennington or a
Kukoc.
Well, Kukoc playing off the wing in the triangle, but if you got like a Bill Wennington or a Bill Cartwright or hell, even a Robert Parrish, that offense will work because now
you forgetting about Horace Grant.
Yeah,
Horace Grant.
And Horace Grant gonna be open. He gonna be open under the basket. That means that Mike coming in and playing on the wing or he's coming in at the elbow on the free throw line. Like it's easier because you can move the ball around. If that ball was that offense was never intended to be some stagnant.
No, it's a constantly moving offense where your point guard isn't the facilitator. He can if you work that into the fold, but for a lot of his point guards, they weren't asked to be the facilitator. It'd be the two guard or like you said, Scottie Pippen, because you wanted to keep Michael Jordan off ball until it was time to isolate. Because when you isolate him, you want him to have a one-on-one. You don't want to even give them the opportunity of doubling. And that's where a lot of that, Michael Jordan one-on-one with people. Because, natural thought would be, why didn't we just double Michael every time? Because that's not the way the offense was set up. Why do you think Kobe had so many one-on-ones? You can try to double them, but as soon as you double them, everybody's moving around in one pass, two pass. Now you got somebody so open that there's nobody within 5 feet of them.
Or somebody get blowing by you off the ball.
And the backdoor cut is wide open. There's nobody under the basket. So that offense always put a lot of pressure on the defense to stay to play him honest. You had to play him honest. And all the doubling that people would try to do against Michael, it wouldn't work. So Dylan Harper coming into the league, knowing basketball from a X's and O's standpoint, learned from his dad, watched his dad play, watched his dad win championships. You know what I mean? He's gonna step into the NBA ready to go.
So, Alan Darby, real quick, we talked about it on the show before, and I'll kind of go through it again. A lot of the kids that get drafted, and I'll use the Florida State kid for example, because of who his head coach was, he had connections to say, "Come take a look at this kid," right? If were not for that, I don't believe he gets. If the current head coach was the coach last year, I don't believe Jameer gets drafted. I don't believe he gets drafted. Even though he coached in the league, there's two different guys. So that's one.
And whether he gets drafted or not, Noah can show up to summer camp. The summer league gets going in a couple weeks. If he can put enough on tape to get a team to sign him, at least get him on the roster, that's the start of an NBA career. And you never know where it can go from there. If he's good, they will find him. If he comes to play and he brings all of that tenacity that he did in college, he will get discovered. He will get on somebody's roster and he can fight his way up. Because we live in a world where if you are good enough and you have the drive, you'll get the opportunity. And then it's what you do with that opportunity, because it might not be the opportunity that you necessarily want, but you got to take everything that you can get. And then you fight tooth and nail and you get on somebody's roster, you work your way up to a starting lineup, and you never know where it can go from there.
I'm sorry, Johnny Thornton. I'm just used to calling my elders Mister. That's just how I was raised. But I have seen some of these other podcasts, and I tell everybody, I didn't graduate from an HBCU, but I went to school in Tallahassee. I worked at FAMU. That dude, Marlo, FAMU alone. I've been around HBCU culture my entire life, whether it's from teachers, administrators, going to football games. We've been surrounded by it, and you won't ever. It is a vow of mine never to use that word to start with, but you will never hear on this platform HBCU culture be referred to ever on this platform in that manner. We got too much respect. We got too much love. It's just we have too much going on. Yeah, to be disrespectful like that. If there are podcasters out there that's doing that, they tell you who they are by saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
That's still hate I was talking about.
Yeah. So, and the Gathering Oatmeal podcast was named that for a reason. We not doing this for likes and clicks. We're doing this because we love it. Now we want likes and clicks. Don't get it twisted. But like, I'm not finna be sitting at the edge of my bed crying because 200,000 people didn't look at my video. I'm gonna be crying on the edge of my bed if I'm doing something wrong in the podcast, or if I'm not presenting my people in the best light. I'm gonna have an issue with that. A lot of the times when I cut up videos, I take so long because I want to make sure that I get everybody's voice.
I'm
But
not
it's easy to
even.
hear your own voice.
I'm not even on Twitter. So I don't give a fuck about Twitter. I'm on Twitter, but I don't.
Marlo.
But I mean, that's just me. But I don't. That shit don't move the needle on my radar. I can give a shit if y'all get upset about what I say.
Marlo has a Twitter account that he does not use, by the way.
You don't use it.
I got one, but if y'all get me upset on Twitter, I'm gonna pull up. Shit. I'm just old school like that. I ain't gonna get in no back and forth Twitter beef, and you a thumb thug. That shit with your chest.
The intention is to be in Atlanta 2 to 3 times. I don't know. I would love to attempt to do the SWAT MEAC SWAT challenge. So I would love to say that we'll be there 3 times, but I'm feeling confident we'll be there at least twice. I'm feeling confident about that. But
Cause it only take me 5.5 driving from Orlando to Atlanta.
I believe that drive is a little bit longer, but you drive like a bat out of hell, so there's that.
No, he say he drive like he got somewhere to be. Shit.
I'm where to be.
You know what? I'm gonna let you ride with Marlo somewhere, and then report back.
Shit, I'll be asleep. I'll be asleep. I don't know what you're talking about.
I got in the car in Orlando at like 4:30 in the morning and woke up at like 8 o'clock in the morning in Atlanta.
Amen.
Hey, you got there safely, and you got there on time.
You woke up.
I know how to go to sleep.
That's what I said. I'm gonna go to sleep. Shoot. I put the headphones. I ride with anyone. I put them headphones on. I go to sleep.
I don't need to
Yeah,
see the
you take me on the road. Look, y'all take me on the road trip. I'm be asleep before we hit the highway.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, all we gotta do is stop at Buc-ee's. That's it.
Look, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna wake up, talk
Hey,
some shit,
Buc-ee's.
eat some snacks, and then I'm going right back to sleep.
Lord have mercy.
Stop at Buc-ee's. Let me give me some food. Get my drink, whatever, fun, whatever you want to get. Get back in that car. I put the headphones on. I'm out.
You know, it's real disrespectful. You talking about how you get to go to Buc-ee's, and we might not be able to get to go to Buc-ee's no more because we might not get invited to Daytona no more.
It's more Buc-ee's than in damn Daytona. And if we need to make a stop to a Buc-ee's, they building one over by Ocala. There's one in St. Augustine.
Stop at a Buc-ee's on your way to New Orleans.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to come to New Orleans and catch this Suno Dillard game. They play twice a year. Home and home.
You know
Come
what?
on now.
That's a trip. That's something we could do. New Orleans.
Yeah. And it only take me 6.5 hours to get there.
See the bullshit I'm talking about.
It'll take me.
It's a very scenic route though, because it's right by the water the whole way. You just hop on the 10 and ride.
And the trees in the middle. And I'm trying to snitch out.
Gotta
Yes, y'all
ride through
is.
Mississippi though. Don't stop
Yep.
in Mississippi. Just keep going.
No,
This
don't stop.
I gotta go through. I go through Central Louisiana. Well, the way I come from New Orleans, go to New Orleans. I go through Shreveport.
Oh, yeah, I know the way you will go. You go
Yeah.
straight across. You go straight across and then down.
wait. Y'all
When he
just gonna act like
he
Mama
coming
would say
across, he
that.
got to go up to the 10 and then across, and it take you along the top of Florida through
Yeah.
Mississippi, and I'm talking about the swamp Mississippi. It is nasty driving through there, and then you get
Mhm.
to
I don't see much in Mississippi.
He said 6 hours, PP.
Hold on now.
I see
huh?
6.5.
6.5. Hey, look, you get gas at like Fort Walton, and then just ride out the rest of the way.
Right. And it depends on what you're driving. You can get deeper than that.
I'm just saying it to be safe.
You got Pensacola right there before you get into the craziness.
Oh yeah, you do got Pensacola.
Oh man.
My mama told me when we came to Tallahassee 2 years ago for the championship game, my mom was like, hey, we ain't going this way no more. I'm talking about we went through the back way, we went through Hattiesburg with the back way into Mobile, crossed over Africa Town Bridge. I was like, then got on Interstate 10. She was like, no, we're not going this way no more. she seen bro. She seen number water. She was asleep for a minute. She seen that water. She's like, nah, I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be up right now.
Well, real quick story we got to get to before we get out of here. Former Rays outfielder Franco has been found guilty. But he has a suspended sentence. So Wander Franco has been found guilty of sexual abuse of a minor. He was sleeping with a 16-year-old. He was sleeping with a 16-year-old when he was 21. It became more egregious because the girl's mom was essentially selling her to Wander, and the mom got 10 years. So Wander Franco has 2 years suspended sentence. I guess their version of probation, and that's that.
What was this at? It couldn't have been in the United States.
No,
He's whipping the mama's ass.
I was in the Dominican Republic.
Because in the United States, if his ass ain't getting no 10 years, grits ain't groceries.
But did he know that she was 16?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He needed his ass whooped too.
We only know about it. Dan, I said I had to mute you. I'm sorry. But we only know about this because the mother refused to give the daughter money, and the daughter went to the authorities. That's the only reason we know about this.
That's some pedophilia stuff.
Yeah.
You said the mother refused to give the daughter money?
Yep. The daughter found out that Juan Franco was giving the mama money. She went to the mom, and the mama said no, and that's how we hear.
So the daughter went to the police.
Yep.
Hey, let
And
me
the
tell
mama
you
got
something. There's an extra hot and toasty corner of hell for this mother.
yes.
Good for
Extra
her.
hot.
Good for the daughter.
Why she ain't in jail too?
She is. The mother's
She
got
is
10
in
years. She got 10 years.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Now, what did we learn? You don't sell your minor kids.
Shit, they need to go back all the mamas that was giving their kids to R. Kelly too. Shit, if he in jail, they should have been in jail too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn the page before we get into our final little comments. And some other interesting news. A man who went missing while looking for his wife in the Dominican Republic has turned up. A man came home. Hold on, let me finish. A man came home to his house. It had been cleaned out, and his wife was gone. Said man then followed his wife to the Dominican Republic, at which point he had come up missing and the father had reported him missing. Now, good news is he has been found, or he's been allowed to be found. And as Marlo said, what did we learn? Passport bros. If you not going, I'm trying to say this gently because some of y'all brothers really, I want to slap the shit out y'all. If you're not going to follow a woman here to her neighborhood, I've been to the Dominican Republic a lot. Don't follow her to her neighborhood in the Dominican Republic. It ain't going, you're going to find out she got another husband. You're going to find out she probably got 2-3 kids. But, you know, you wanted to go overseas to find something you could have found in Miami.
So the question is, when is he back in the States?
Yeah, he back in the States. He back in the States.
So why they say he's missing?
Because his daddy had not talked to him in several days, and his daddy knew that. He went over there to quote unquote save his marriage. Your marriage was over with when she cleaned the house out.
So did he find her? I need more information.
They have not published whether or not he found her and they got back. They have not published. It is my assumption that they're not back together because you know if you go over there and you get your wife back, you're gonna be talking tough. He's not talking tough.
He didn't look like he'd be talking tough, and that's just going on.
No, first of all, why are you going over here looking for a woman that took all your stuff?
Man, I'm trying to tell you. Listen here, homegirl cleaned out the house. I would have let her be where she at.
That's it.
That's it. Because if it's that
it's
serious to
null and
you,
void.
if it's that serious to you, I don't want to be with nobody or around nobody that don't want me around. Baby, if you gonna pack up the house and leave, oh, you can stay gone.
Hey, I got a question for y'all because this I seen this too. So the African multimillionaire has to pay alimony upwards of $40,000 a month for the next 15 months, but he was also deported. How does that work?
I don't know how they can enforce it.
He can do whatever he wants. He can travel wherever he wants. He just can't come. He cannot come back to the U.S.
But does she still get her money?
She does. The money has nothing to do with where you're living.
But who enforces that?
The judge.
But if he's not in the United States, how can the judge enforce if he's not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How can the judge enforce it?
It doesn't have anything to do with your location at all. It has to do with your financial being, right? So when they do that settlement, they make sure that your bank account or whatever account you're using to pay that is set up. I'm sure.
So you saying that his money has been liquidated for 15 months?
Not necessarily, but he was here. Like, just because you're deported doesn't mean that you lose access to your funds or that others can't access your funds, right?
Yeah, and they still have a house to sell.
You can still, yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out who would enforce that, because if he took all his money and put it in a Swiss bank account, the U.S. can't touch it. Can't nobody touch it. So,
but legally he cannot do that because
he's not a U.S. citizen, so he doesn't abide by our laws in a different country.
I don't think it works like that though. Like if you are, I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but I don't think it works like that. You married a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, but if he himself isn't a U.S. citizen and he doesn't live in the U.S., how can a judge here enforce anything on him in another country? and who and what would be the punishment for not abiding by it? Because they can't extradite him back to a
I see.
country that
I see
he's
what you
not
say.
national to.
I don't think it has to do with that though. Like I believe that because this is about marriage, and I'm sure that they have ways to access his funds.
It will. You know what? It ended.
I'm
So it's
sure. I'm
only
sure there are
40,000 a month,
penalties and all of that.
and I'm
But
sure they'll take
let me
his
say
part of the
this.
house.
The house in the
They'll do
states, he can't
something
come back
like
to it anyway. He can't come back
right.
So
to the
is this
states anyway because
so
if you
is
get
this all
deported,
from the same?
you
Is this all from the same guy?
yeah.
Yeah, this is all from the same guy.
Yeah.
And if
So
you get
he
deported,
so
you
he
legally can't come back to the United States for 2 years.
so he
Right.
went to so he went to the
Yeah,
Dominican Republic. So he went.
no.
Wait a
It's
minute. So
not
he
that.
went to the
It's
so he went
not.
to the
It's not
Dominican.
that guy. This ain't guy.
Okay. I'm about to say, but I'm talking
Oh
about the
no,
first
not the
guy.
DR guy, not the DR
No,
guy. This
Oh
is the
no.
African guy
no.
being
This
married an
is
American, and
Oh,
she
no,
divorced him
we
yeah.
and
we
got
don't have.
This
forty
is
thousand a month. The house.
How many years was the marriage though?
I'm not
15 months.
15 months.
15 months.
Well, in certain states, they ain't gonna. You can't even get alimony for till you hit year 10.
No, they
Listen.
already awarded it though.
They
Yeah,
already
So
awarded
they
it. They
robbing that.
he
said,
They
signed a
robbing that
prenup.
dude.
y'all, Lord have mercy. Y'all gonna listen. I don't know a whole bunch about all of this housewife stuff, but I heard this on the. I was listening to the whole thing on the radio yesterday morning. That's the only reason I know what's going on.
This Portia,
So,
by the way.
yes, this is the lady from the Housewives, one of them shows, right?
Portia
So the
Portia
judge
Williams.
ordered
Yeah.
her husband. The judge ordered her ex-husband to pay alimony for the length that their marriage lasted, which it was 15 months, right? So they still have he was trying to keep I think he was trying to keep the house or get the money from the house. So they may sell the house and say, "Hey Portia, here's your money." Or I think no, I'm sorry. I think she was trying to keep the house. But he
And the house is
owes
worth like 6 million or four
correct.
million.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's somewhere between 4 and 6 million, I think, or 5 and 6 million, something like that.
yeah.
So, like, they could potentially be like, "House is not in your name. You got to sell. He gonna sell the house. You get the money from the house up to whatever 40,000 times 15 months. So whatever that is,
six hundred thousand
But
dollars.
I I know for sure that they have ways to. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. You can't make a ruling that someone can't.
Yeah, no, they
You know
can
what I'm
they
saying?
can
They're
So
gonna
seize
what?
his
find a way
assets.
to get
So
that money.
what is he getting deported for? Because
He
his
was
He
deported
outstayed his
before.
visa.
Yeah, he overstayed his
Yeah.
visa.
He
He
was
overstayed his
deported
visa. His
before the
visa expired.
divorce.
Right. Because the divorce was finalized and he never got his actual green card to become a US citizen and he was still on a visa, they were able to deport him.
Can we just say something? Can we just say something? It is nasty work to divorce your husband and get him deported. That's some nasty business.
that's the reason why I don't like when these housewives like Atlanta housewives and shit like that. Like, bro, I be trying to stay far away from them. You know what I'm saying? Because uh, like, do you have any morals? Do you have any standards? Because apparently you don't. Like,
Well,
you don't.
here's my whole thing. Here's my whole thing. From and this is one of the reasons why I just can't get with these shows, right? I've never been one to get into those quote unquote reality TV shows. Number one, that ain't nobody's reality for real, right? Not even theirs. Um, I don't
She said
believe
not even
that
theirs.
it's not.
It ain't.
That ain't.
It's not like real talk. Like it's drama that's created. It's brewed up. They do it for ratings. And also, I get so tired of seeing women attacking each other over stupid stuff. or you doing stupid stuff and expect somebody to respect you. Okay? Like at some point you gotta realize that this is not true. Like this is not how we live. You and I'm sorry, I almost cussed. But you ain't no housewife. You
Oh
ain't no
shit.
housewife. You don't cook. You don't clean. You don't do
Them
nothing.
housewives be outside. They be outside.
You for the
Hey,
streets.
my
You for
mama,
the streets and other
hey,
people's
my mama
money.
would be like, when it come down to it, my mama would be like, bitch, you just ain't no but a bitch that get money. That's all you
And
do.
that I mean, but my whole thing is like we it's a show where the women are attacking. They're always attacking each other, and I get sick of seeing grown women emasculating men. Because if you were a good wife, period, you wouldn't be treating your husband like that. How do you treat a man the way these women treat their men? I don't understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
But
don't.
you got a bunch of men that don't act like men and they let it happen. A
Let
bunch
it happen.
a bunch of beta dudes running around. Who
These
raised
dudes,
y'all?
these
Nobody. That's the problem.
these dudes sign up for that. They're doing something good for them for their wives, and there hasn't been on that housewives show. Peter went to jail. Apollo went to jail. I mean, Nene husband died and had a heart attack. God rest his soul. But this is not a place long term for men.
Well,
Hell,
It's not
well,
even a place for the
Candy
women though,
husband.
and I need
Candy is still married.
who still married?
Candy
Candy.
Bird.
Yeah, they still married. Cordell Stewart, who was originally married to Portia, is no longer married to Portia. He got out early, smart man. Um, so it again, like you said, it's scripted reality. It's not real at all.
But
And
here's my other thing. Like, and maybe I'm saying this because I ain't ever had that much money to play with. So maybe somebody gonna watch the show and be like, "Oh, she ain't nothing but a hater." Maybe I am, but I feel like so much of these shows is if we break up, I'm gonna try to drag you to the lowest parts of hell for no reason, and then try to make it so that you have nothing left. And I'm speaking from someone who has been through that recently. Like my ex took me to hell and beyond, and I'm still paying for it. So I don't understand the mentality that yes, we're not together anymore, but now I gotta take you for everything you're worth. Just like Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor. Like, bro,
Yeah,
why are you asking for this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing
feeling,
is, were y'all
feelings hurt.
making $40,000 a month before you got divorced?
oh
Like,
wait,
was that the
whoa, whoa,
level of
whoa, whoa.
support that came in? How do you get to that number? How does anyone need $40,000 a month to live off of when
I
you
can answer that.
making that on your own? You doing interviews and shows and appearances and all this other stuff. Sometimes I feel like it is it's an attack from bitterness or whatever the case is because you
Oh,
did it. But get this, Portia married her best friend's ex-husband. Heifer, you
I
getting
mean,
everything you deserve.
she ain't got no morals.
so just so everybody is aware, when Portia was dating this dude before they got married, he was giving her 40,000 a month in an allowance.
Mm.
She was paying for a company.
Yeah, he was. He was a glorified sugar daddy.
He's a
Yeah.
simp.
TP is so generous. I like that. TP being
Right. He
generous.
was pimping her.
So, but
Yeah.
again, I wanted to make sure that that was clear. Interesting story. Ooh, interesting story. Could get
I'm
way
sorry, y'all.
uglier.
That grinds that kind of stuff grinds my gears
Mm-hmm.
because like you anyway, whatever.
Yep.
You can't go from a hussy to a housewife and then expect everybody to have pity for you.
She said, "Hussy."
That is at the 2 hour and 11 mark. Let's go ahead and make that a clip. Um,
That's another one right there.
oh god. Um, well,
Why? She gonna end up with Zion Williamson next.
Olympic.
Slanging that Ozempic.
But I got to roll, Troy.
I was finna go to yeah. I understand. I definitely understand.
Yeah, I gotta get ready to hop off too, y'all. Go ahead.
Well, well. Oh man,
Yeah.
that was the ending of the show there, right there. Um, today was interesting show. Thank everybody for coming. Um, so I didn't touch on it during the show because it was odd to me, right? Uh, a couple of days ago, the Tampa Police Department found 60 missing children who were sex trafficked in a hotel here in Tampa.
Mm.
And I have a host of questions. I have more questions than they could possibly give me answers to. But here is an answer to every one of those questions. Please talk to your kids. Find out what they're doing. They don't get to have privacy. They don't get to text message somebody and no, there is no privacy. It's your job to protect your kids. Even when they think they're grown, it's your job to protect your kids. That was the absolute worst story I have ever heard in my entire life. 60 children in a hotel. The hotel is now shut down because how do you not know that you have 60 missing children in your hotel who are being sex trafficked? I love my city to my heart. That broke my heart. The level of fall through the cracks, do nothings that happened for these children to end up in the place they were. We got to answer for that. We got to answer for that as people. We run around here doing everything in the world except protecting our children. And the ugly fact is that it wasn't even big news. This wasn't. This should have been primetime news. But you know why it wasn't primetime news? Because a lot of those children were children of color, and we know for a fact that our children are not treated the same when they go missing. So whenever I see, and I'll be honest with you, I try not to see it because when it comes to children, if anything happens to children, it affects me in a way that I'm not comfortable with. But whenever I see it, I retweet it because again, our missing children network is going to be better than anything that they can possibly come up with. So if you see something, it's not, well, do I have the right to say something? You are obligated to say something. That child didn't ask to be here. And I'm a dang sure make sure on my end, if I see something, I'm going to say something. That's my time. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Danny, what you got for us this week?
Um, I'm gonna say it's mm, it's really important to understand how to be a good number two. And I know that's probably going to sound really crazy, right? But a good number two understands what that number one needs. You understand what it takes to be a leader, but more importantly, you understand what it takes to support the leader. And I say this from so many different levels, from um, business to relationships to having a partner in life, right? Um, there have been so many different stories recently that I've seen, where people are losing someone, a relationship. They're taking each other's lives, they're taking someone's life over jealousy and envy and things like that. And it, like, what the F are we doing? Why does it take that for you to reconcile differences? Um or to understand that you're gonna have differences. We've lost the ability to communicate. We've lost the ability to say it is what it is and I'm gonna leave it alone. But a lot of it is because everybody wants to be in charge. And some of y'all suck at being leaders. Some of y'all couldn't lead someone to the door next to you with a big old spotlight because you have no vision, you have no direction, you have no intentionality for anything. And when we get caught up in doing things just so that the attention is on us, we actually do an, a severe injustice, and we do each other severely wrong, and we impact others around us in a horrible, horrible way because we don't know how to be okay with not always being in charge. And when you don't know how to support the person in charge, you always look at everything they're doing as wrong. And sometimes we need to sit down and shut up and learn. And we can't do that because you can't learn unless you're listening, and you can't listen unless you're being silent. If you always are the one to have something to say, if you're always the one that has the best ideas, or you think you do, you're probably wrong. And you probably have no idea what you are doing. And it is okay to be quiet. It is okay to sit back and learn how to lead by serving others. That's all I got.
Church.
Yeah.
Doc, what you got for us this week?
Okay. So first of all, first and foremost, I apologize for not being on camera. I've been having issues with my vision, so therefore that's the reason why I have my shades on and everything. But to get back to what we were talking about earlier with how Southern Miss, whoever did the video for that hype video for Southern Miss, and included our esteemed HBCU brethren, the man Southern University, the Human Jukebox. Uh, Shame on you. And then to double down, to bring out a video when the last time you played Jackson State was piss poor. So until then, how about we capitalize off of your misery and everything and what you do, and go ahead and pick up a shirt, Culture Vultures, with your favorite, with your favorite mascot, Seymour. You know, let's see how many people pick up on that. You can go to the press house. You can email at the press house 25 at gmail.com. Get your size, get whatever color you want to put it in. We'll make it for you. But like I said, hey, be honest with you, leave our shit alone and leave our shit alone and worry about your own. But second thing is Cooper Flag, welcome to Dallas, Texas. Now, there's some places I'll tell you need to go to. And there's some places I'll tell you that you don't need to step foot in. But the first place that you need to go to, my Caucasian brother, is you need to go to where I grew up at. You need to go to Oak Cliff. Experience the nightlife. Experience everything over there at Oak Cliff. And then go over to South Dallas. They'll make sure they take care of you. Especially when you go for the fair, Fair Park come around, State Fair come around, go to Fair Park. But I tell you, hey, don't go to Highland Park. You'll be miserable over there. Don't go to North Park. You'll be miserable over there. Don't venture all the way out to the suburbs. You'll be miserable. Stay yourself in the city. Get engulfed in the city. And of course, I understand that you're 18 years old. You just turned 18. You're going to try to do something that grown folks can do, but I'm going to be honest with you. Don't do it. Get in the lab, stay in the lab, get yourself ready for the season coming up. Because it's gonna be a good one because we're gonna be dependent on you. And last but not least, for everybody who's for everybody who had a significant other or significant part of their life taken away from them naturally, violently, whatever, man, we praying for you. And of course, this goes out to Jamal, man. So I know he's not here because he's doing, he's dealing with family, but we're praying for you, man, because it sucks losing a dad, in days after Father's Day. It sucks doing that, bro. But we got your back. And if you want to talk, if you need us, hit us up. We got you. But other than that, crash out on your kids, beat them at the penitentiary, and fuck Donald Trump. Hit them in the Nerf bus. Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where this is going to go.
This man don't need no introduction.
Mullo, what you got for us this week? Lord have mercy on my soul.
What's up, good people? We are coming into probably one of my favorite seasons of the year. No, it's not summer. It's cancer season. Yeah, we coming. We gonna show y'all how to bask in the glory of this beautiful sunshine that we have during this time of year. If you see a cancer, give a cancer a hug. They always appreciate it. And I got a few things I plan on doing for my birthday month. But most of all, I plan on being a lot more intentional about, me getting into a lot better shape. I don't think I'm in bad shape, but I know I can do better. So I ain't waiting to the end of the year or another missed opportunity to go ahead and take better care of myself. I'm going to start this week. I'm gonna start this weekend. Actually, Sunday is my start day. So I challenge everybody to do a little bit better so you can be a little bit better. And if you have these we get older, when you get these nagging, achy situations that you really don't understand, go get them checked out. Could save your life. It could help alleviate it by doing a little more exercising. So, you know, consult your doctor before you just jump in 10 toes down and go crazy. Make sure that you're physically able to do it. But that's my challenge for myself. I put it out there for anybody who wants to join me. Um, I don't do a whole lot of tweeting, but I might get videos of me uh, on my journey. So encourage the people. But that's all I got. My birthday is the 6th of July, so I'm looking for something to do. But that's my time. I hope everybody have a blessed rest of June because this year is flying by. It is already the second half of 2025. That's crazy. So y'all stay up, stay encouraged, love on your loved ones, and don't fuck with nobody that don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me say this. My bad. I forgot to say this. Happy June 27th day tomorrow for all my folks here in Texas. So you know what that means. Go ahead and get your clear tapes or your gray tapes, and let's celebrate and honor the legendary DJ Screw by playing the most infamous and classic freestyle of all time here in the state. June 27th. That's all I had. I forgot to say that.
Um, I forgot to mention it earlier. We'll probably mention it on Tuesday. Adam Silver said that they're using AI to try and figure out why they're having so many Achilles injuries. That is not what AI is for. Data analytics should help you with that. But again, us programmers are going to have to pay for a lot of crimes. This one ain't on us. This one is on Brad and and marketing. Brad made the word AI, and it just I'm using Brad as a general term. But Brad and marketing made AI a cool term. It was never meant to be cool, and all of a sudden it's a cool term. AI is not going to tell you why you're getting Achilles injuries, but it is what it is. That
Because these new age players is soft. They ain't have to go through gladiator school. A lot of them, and I'm not down on nobody because he got hurt. This is just facts. These kids don't go through the rigmarole at the old school went through. Back in the day, you ain't never seen that, and they went harder.
no, we will.
So
We definitely gonna discuss this on Tuesday because that was just a crazy thing to say for the NBA commissioner. But that is our time for myself, Marlo, HBCU Overdrive. Holiday, Danny. Thank y'all for coming. We are out.